Yes. Good morning, everyone. Let's do some meditating. And I want to do the same as usual. Bless our speech. We can never do enough of this one, I think. I love doing it. So let's get that one out, Lou.
Lou, are you going to show that, or do you want me to?
Who is in charge? Is Michael? Is it okay, Michael? You do it.
Oh, Terry, if Lou's got it, we can both. I mean, I have it up, so.
Okay,
oh,
good.
Lou's got it. Perfect.
It's a bit small, isn't it? Hard to read. Can everybody read it, I think? Okay.
Lou, can you enlarge it? If not, I can show mine. Oh, there. I'll just go. Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Okay, so for a minute or two, we could just sit, focus our mind. Feel it as a very natural kind of activity. Don't think, oh, I'm meditating. Don't get all holy, you know, just be very natural. But maybe it's good to check the body first. There's always this position that the yogis over the centuries have found to be most conducive to good meditation. The body doesn't meditate. It's very important to remember that. But the body needs to be in a good position. So we'll just go through those. It's good to remind ourselves. It's about 7 or 8 points. So the first one, of course, is the legs, and everybody, you know, the as His Holiness the Dalai Lama says, it's really auspicious to start your session in this, what they call full lotus position, where each instep is on the other thigh. There's something about this position that the highest yogis, the most advanced yogis have found aligns all the energies and the subtle energy, the wind and the mind very nicely. But the other thing is, if you're meditating for a long time in subtle meditation, you know, meditating on emptiness, you know, you don't want to topple over. And this position makes you very stable. You don't topple over. You can sit there for weeks. Actually, it's very fascinating. You're really stable. The body is very nicely upright and stable. Of course, if we can't do that, don't worry. But if you can sit in, even for a second in the beginning of your session, His Holiness says that's very auspicious. But if you can't do that, do half lotus. If not that, regular sitting cross-legged. If not that, in a chair, whatever we can do. But if we're in a chair, it's really important not to have a very comfy sofa that you sort of sink into, because that makes us too relaxed and we go to sleep. And that's not the point here. So we should be upright. You don't slump into the back of the chair. Have your feet on the ground, firmly planted on the ground, but hold your own body up. If you're sitting full lotus, you're holding your body up. You can't slump. But here we can, so we should not. So keep your body upright. Don't sit into the back of the chair. That's the back, and that's the sitting. So then the next is your hands in the classic position of the prayer, the meditation mudra or gesture in your lap, left underneath, right on top, thumbs touching, forming like a triangle. But if you'd like them just to be there relaxed, or sitting, or having them resting on your knee, that's okay. There are different positions. Then you've got your back, and in general, it's, like I said before, actually mentioned it, to be upright, not tense. But our trouble is, as soon as we sit upright, we tense the muscles. They don't mention this in the text, but you know, we tense, especially the abdomen. We tense the muscles. So sit upright and then consciously relax the muscles, flop the muscles. Okay, shoulders, abdomen, but stay upright. It's a really good combination. Shoulders upright, muscles relaxed, body upright, hands sitting. And then there's your head, several points. First, have your chin slightly tucked in, which kind of causes you to be slightly tilted forward. That keeps you, you know, that sort of like inward looking. If you have your head thrust back, you get a bit agitated. Then you can have your mouth, your jaw relaxed, and your lips slightly apart. It seems odd, but that's how they talk. And then even more curious is the tip of the tongue resting behind the top teeth at the palate. And this, the yogis have found over the centuries, stops you when you're meditating for a long time. Very practical. So the tip of the tongue behind the top teeth, jaw relaxed, lips slightly apart, head slightly tilted forward. And then finally, your eyes. So again, very practical for the long-term meditators is to have the eyes open, because the light coming in keeps your mind sharp. But of course, when most of us get distracted, and it's only for 30 minutes, maybe 25 now, so we don't worry about that. But it's good to know the point, because the danger when you close your eyes is you go to sleep. It's a very strong habit. So have your eyes slightly closed and have your eyes beneath your eyelids, looking down as if you're looking along your nose towards the ground. This has been found by all the great yogis and yoginis over the centuries to be the best, the most conducive position for your body, best for your mind. The legs, back, shoulders, hands, chin, jaw, tongue, eyes, and then settle into it and then forget about it, okay? Because like I said, the body doesn't meditate, the mind does. So now we can imagine just Shakyamuni, and we do this sweet little refuge prayer. I take refuge in the three sublime ones. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge in the three sublime ones. May I become a Buddha to benefit sentient beings. I take refuge in the three very sublime ones. May I become a Buddha to benefit sentient beings. Thinking we're going to do this little practice to help. It's overtly it's about the speech, but actually you'll see from the meditation it's purifying body, speech, and mind. But the speech in particular, so that we can be in control in the day and not blurt out everything we feel and therefore make a mess and harm others and harm ourselves as well. Learn to have control so we can be of benefit to sentient beings. So now visualize. On your tongue, there's a syllable R. Just imagine the Roman letters AH. Standing upright. And it turns into a moon disc, like a flat white disc, like a flat white cushion sitting on your tongue. On top of that is a white Om. And circling clockwise are the white Sanskrit vowels. Of course, we don't know them. And if we do, great. If not, and don't worry, just imagine standing upright, all these letters, the Sanskrit vowels. It is said, you see, that the Sanskrit is the most powerful, pure sound. And all the mantras remain in Sanskrit. The Tibetans didn't translate them. They keep them it's in their own writing, but they keep them, the Sanskrit sounds. So, yeah, said to be very beneficial. So then counterclockwise are the red consonants surrounding the Om on your tongue. And then all the clockwise around the Om and the white vowels and the red consonants are the syllables of the mantra of dependent arising, or as Lama Zopa Rinpoche calls the heart mantra of dependent relation. Clockwise, all of these syllables standing upright, white, red, blue, on your tongue. Imagine. So now imagine what we're going to do now is kind of hook the blessed energy of all the energy, the power of speech of all the Buddhas and all the holy beings in the universe. So what we do is we visualize light beams coming out from the Om and all the mantras in the colors, going out to all the 10 directions, going out, blazing out beams of light from all these syllables in the colors, blazing out to all the 10 directions, north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, and then up and down. That's 10. And where it hooks the energy of all the power of speech of all the yogis, all the meditators, all the Buddhas, all the bodhisattvas, all the holy beings of the universe who have accomplished the path, or are practicing the path. It hooks the energy of the power of their speech. So the power of speech is the main gift of the Buddha, because we all live at this conceptual level, of thoughts and speech. We can't access the Buddha's mind, and we can't directly. So we need to hear speech. This is the greatest gift of the Buddha, the advice. And we can see in our lives, this is the most powerful way to benefit sentient beings. Yes, you can give them a hug, so important. Buy them things, give them things physically. But advice is so beneficial. One small, or even just a smile or a kind word can be so powerful. So the power of speech is gained, 1, by doing practices like this, 2, by merely being silent, 3, saying mantras and prayers. But we need to learn to be conscious, to be in charge, and we're not. We just blurt out whatever we feel. We're not aware, So we need to learn to harness this energy, to make it useful. So here we hook the energy of all these holy beings who've accomplished just that. And all this energy of their power of speech, blessed speech, powerful speech, comes back with all those beams of light and absorbs back into all the syllables on our tongue, making them radiant and delicious and powerful, full of the power of speech of all the holy beings of the universe. Imagine that. So now you can we can now recite the Sanskrit vowels. You can see them there, the first row and the second paragraph. And as we recite them, the white nectar comes dripping down from the white vowels on our tongue and fills us completely. Imagine that. And it totally in this case, it totally purifies, this white nectar filling us, in fact, all the actions of our body. So we imagine all the things we've ever done to harm sentient beings with our body, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, all these actions we must have done, plus all others we've done to harm others since the beginning of this time. Imagine all of this nectar filling us completely, totally purifying all the karmic imprints of all this energy. As we say the mantra, say these syllables 3 times. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, e, o, ang, swaha. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, e, o, ang, swaha. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, e, ang, swaha. Full of this nectar. Imagine so happily all the negativity of our bodies. Also think of our bodies, also all the sickness gone, and the body's healthy and vibrant, full of this delicious white nectar. Totally blessed. So happy. Our body's purified. All the karma purified. The body's strong and useful. So now as we recite the consonants, red nectar pours down from the syllables on our tongue and fills us completely. And this time, indeed, purifying our speech. So thinking of all the harsh speech. I mean, this, of course, is humans, isn't it? Animals make some kind of noise, but we're the ones with our clever speech that do so much harm. The speech that isn't true, And even if we don't consciously lie, I think because we're so uncontrolled with our speech and we so much want to give the right answer to people, and we have so much information in our heads from kind of constant television and iPads and computers and newspapers, we blurt out anything, even if we're not sure it's right. So we often speculate, misleading people. So all of this, totally purified. All the harsh speech, abusing people, rough language, harming people, all of this completely purified by this white nectar. All the bad-mouthing people behind their backs, and that's our favorite because we feel comfortable doing that. All the politicians we criticize, and the family we criticize, and the people at work we criticize, the people on the street and the people in the shop, anybody we see, always finding fault, criticizing, bad-mouthing. All of this purified. And finally, even just the rabbiting on about nothing, just this uncontrolled blah. All of this. Imagine, totally annihilated, totally purified by this blissful red nectar completely filling us. And then now, as we recite the heart mantra, the dependent related heart mantra, the blue nectar, like sort of darkish blue, lightish darkish blue, comes down from these syllables, filling us completely. And this time, purifying the mind, which is the source of the problems. The body and speech are simply the servants of the mind. It's kind of good to think of it this way, So the first two are controlling the servants of the mind, and now we imagine purifying the mind itself. The delusions, the ego grasping, the root delusion that believes in the intrinsic me, the attachment to get what that fantasy me wants, the aversion and panic when it doesn't, and all the other dramas, the low self-esteem and the arrogance and the jealousy, all of this that gives us so much pain, and therefore is the source of why we harm others with our body and speech. All of this purified instantly by this blissful blue nectar, totally filling us. Oh, we forgot. I'm so sorry. We forgot to do the syllables. We forgot to do the consonants. So we have to keep doing the red one again. I'm so sorry. Just do one time. We'll do one time. Well, we do three, the red ones. It's back to the speech. I'm so sorry. Om ka ka ga ga nga cha 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 janya ta 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 dana ta 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 dana pa 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 ba ma yara lava sha sha sa haksa swaha. Om ka 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 ga nga cha 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 janya ta 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 dana ta 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 dana pa pa ba ba ma yara lava sha sha sa haksa swaha. Om ka 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 ga nga cha 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 janya ta 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 dana ta 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 dana pa pa ba ba ma yara lava sha sha sa haksa swaha. All of this red nectar, speech purified, controlled, useful, the negativity all gone. How amazing. Now the mind, and this blue nectar filling us, purifying the mind, taking away the pain and neuroses of these ridiculous states of mind that causes so much suffering. Instantly, all these delusions annihilated as we recite these mantra, the heart mantra of dependent relation. Om ye dhamma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tatagato yevadat teshan chayo nirodha evam vadi maha shamana ye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tatagato iyavada teshan chayo niroda evam vadi maha shamanaya svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tatagato iyavada teshan chayo niroda evam vadi maha shamanaya svaha. So now imagine your mind completely purified, all the delusions, and therefore all the fears and the misery completely gone, only joyful, only blissful. This is our natural state, free of all the neuroses, free of the delusions, the source of all the problem, all the misconceptions, full of this blissful blue nectar. So now we visualize that the dependent-related heart mantra dissolves, the blue dissolves into the red consonants on our tongue. And then the red consonants dissolve into the white vowels. And then the white vowels dissolve into the white Om. And the Om turns into the moon, dissolves into the moon disk. And then that turns into the moon disk, turns into the syllable R. And then the R melts into pink, melts into pink nectar and absorbs into your tongue. And now you imagine, as the Lama was saying, imagine that your tongue now becomes kind of indestructible, heavy. And you think of all the blessings, of all the power of the speech, of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all the yogis, yoginis, all the have entered your speech and have made it perfect. Think this way. And the second that sentient beings hear your words, even if you say good morning, it'll help them. It pacifies their emotional suffering, their delusions. And whatever you say, also in your life, you need speech to do your job, to get things done, to go shopping. We need people to respect our speech, to want to listen to our speech. So whatever you speak now, because it'll be useful and it'll be productive, you also your wishes will be fulfilled. You know. And all your recitations, your mantras will be more powerful. And even your nonsense speech becomes useful. Imagine this, want this. I mean, think of the benefit. You know, it's just a curious idea, isn't it? To think of blessing your speech. It's most curious, but it's so logical when you think of it like this. We have our body, our speech, and our mind. The mind is the point, of course it is. But it's the body and the speech that do all the harm. Look at the world, and it's the body and speech that do the benefit. Of course, the mind is the source. We don't just focus on the mind. We've got to the first stage of practice, actually, as you know in the Lam Rim, is you control your body and speech. You abide by the 10 non-virtues, you live in the vows. This is to do with behavior, not the mind. Then you're ready to start to see the mind. You can't control your mind if you can't control the servants of the mind. That's pretty clear. So he's so delighted. But just for a minute, you dissolve Buddha into us, just dissolve Buddha through your crown. And just imagine, just sit there relaxed. No thoughts. Your body, your mind, your speech. Oneness with the body, mind, and speech of the Buddha. Very spacious. Feel you kind of expand, you know. Very spacious, relaxed. No thoughts for a couple of minutes. Okay. So now we just say this little prayer. May my tongue, or your tongue sense base, may have all the courage of all the ones gone to bliss. By the magnificence and power of my words, may all sentient beings be subdued, and may all the meanings of whatever words I say be accomplished. Okay. And then make the decision, you know, to be conscious. I mean, we all know when we decide to do something, we'll do it. So for the rest of the day, however long you've got for the day, wherever you are in the world, you make a decision. I will control my speech. And then guess what? You will. It's so obvious, you know. I mean, our speeches are, you know, we mightn't go around killing and raping many people, like I like to say, but it's our speech that's the problem. It's so clear, you know, and it's a revelation to know that we can learn to control it. We feel we can't. We feel we're forced to blurt out whatever we feel. Not true. And then the damage is not done. But remember too, the benefit to yourself, not just to others, the benefit to yourself of harnessing your own energy, harnessing your own body, speech, and mind. That's really beneficial for oneself. It's powerful, you know. So be very happy. Be very happy with that. Now 30 minutes is gone. Well, 28. All right, precious ones, happy to see you all. So glad to see you all. Hello, Carl. Everybody, happy to see you all. And that's it. So do our best, keep moving. We're a work in progress. Never give up. Changchub, Semchog Rinpoche, Ma Kie Panam, Kegyuchig, Kie Panyam Pa Me Payang, Gong Ne Gondu Pebashog. That's it. Thank you, darling people. So happy.
Thank you, Venerable.
And you, Venerable.